Implementation involves doing the things to or for target groups that have been authorized by the policy statement. However, implementation is not as mechanical as mere administration. It is itself a dynamic political process involving activities characteristic of each of the 5 stages of the broader policymaking process. This is best illustrated by using an example from the area of regulatory policy. In 1970, the issue of workplace safety and health was thrust onto the congressional agenda. Lobbyists for organized labor had lobbied legislators for years to address the issue. Several bills had been introduced over the years, but none had survived the legislative process. Ultimately, in 1970, Congress passed the Job Safety and Health Act. In essence, Congress decreed that every worker has a right to be free from unreasonable job-related health and safety risks. Congress indicated that employers must take reasonable steps to protect the safety and health of their workers. However, Congress recognized that it was not in a position to specify all of the potential threats to worker safety and health, nor did it have the technical expertise to develop appropriate remedies to such threats. Therefore, in the enabling statute, Congress created OSHA and charged the agency with the responsibility of protecting the health and safety of workers in virtually every place of employment in the country. It gave to the agency administrative discretion to identify problems, formulate alternative strategies to address those problems, adopt the standards that are most likely to achieve results, enforce or implement the standards, and evaluate the extent to which the standards actually do achieve the desired results. Thus, within the context of OSHA's efforts to implement its mission under the Job Safety and Health Act, we are able to observe activities that are characteristic of each of the 5 stages identified by the production line model. Implementation is a microcosm of the broader policymaking process. Again, we should bear in mind that implementation is a dynamic process in which implementing officials serve as political actors rather than a staid or sterile process in which government administrators act as bureaucratic automatons. Indeed, interest groups seem to understand the political nature of implementation. Many groups expend as much or perhaps more money and effort lobbying agency administrators as they do legislators. Although implementing actions are generally carried out by a government bureaucracy, private individuals or businesses, or in some cases nonprofit agencies, may have some implementation responsibilities as well. The phenomenon of privatization over the last 20 or so years has resulted in the contracting out of many public policy functions. Evaluation is the measurement of policy performance and consequences in terms of policy goals and other standards. Policy evaluations may be conducted formally by policy analysts in government agencies, policy think tanks, or the news media, or informally by just about anyone. Often informal, non-scientific evaluations shape perceptions of policy effectiveness more than rigorous scientific analyses. It is also important to note that evaluation may occur simultaneously with implementation. Feedback occurs as the result of evaluation so that policy may be adjusted at any time. As a consequence, old problems may be redefined or new problems may be identified and the policy-making process begins again. Thus, policy-making is a continual or cyclical process.